Hello. Hello. We are back. Prime Impact. Back for another episode of Season 2. For those of you who are just joining us, maybe you only caught the first episode of Season 2, I am Dr. Impact, as it says down here.
And I am Dragonus Prime, as it says down here.
It'd be really funny if the editor was like, I'm going to switch them so that they're saying it's like that, but then the idiots, when they actually point it out, it's going to be the opposite side.
Switch them back.
Well, now you're just making more work for the editor.
Fine.
Which is me.
I'll switch them back.
Yeah, quit doing that.
Because I don't have to edit it.
You know what would be really funny is if you're just sitting here swapping your hands around and I decide when I'm in the editing that I'm like, I'm not going to cut any of that. And so everything just stays stationary and you're just like,
probably what happens.
And not necessarily, only if I run out of time. Because, as we mentioned in our last episode,
We're busy.
We do these shows in our spare time.
Yep.
Of which we don't have a lot of.
Nope. Life finds a way.
That's right, Jeff. That's right. Yeah, I know. We, even this year, we were super busy last year, which is why it took us so long to get season 2 of the show put together. But even this year already, we're starting to get busy. So, Dragonus and I, along with our dad, Monster Kid, we've been working on a original comic book for the better part of maybe a year and a half or so.
It's scary good.
Yes, it is horror themed. So, and we're so close. At the time of this recording, we are pages away, like mere few pages away.
5 or 6 pages away from finishing.
So super close to finishing it.
By the time you're watching this, we'll probably be either looking for publishers or starting to promote and publish, probably. Hopefully.
And certainly we'll be in the middle of issue 2 by then.
I've already started issue 2.
Yeah, that's right, you did. You already started your stuff for issue 2. So we've got that.
Ahead of the game.
Yeah, I'm the one that's holding it all up. Yes, we've got that, and got a couple of film projects that I'm trying to get off the ground this year. There's a music video, like a kind of goofy, silly music video thing that I've always wanted to shoot, and I just never did. Not for any reason in particular, just never did.
Okay.
I'm in this newly divorced land. I'm trying to take a look at things and go, okay, well, I've got time now. Well, let's do something that I've always wanted to do.
Exactly.
And one of them is this video. So we're going to do that. So we'll have more news on that soon. And a feature. I am going to shoot a feature sometime in this calendar year. I just don't know what yet.
We had talked about that one anthology.
Yeah. Well, I've got like 4 or 5 scripts in various stages of development or writing or whatever.
Okay. Well, you can't shoot a feature till one's finished.
Right. Well, 2 of them are done, but
okay.
So it's just whichever one ends up taking off and picking up steam. That seems to be kind of the way
the
film works. You get a lot of races going, and then the one that takes off, that's the one that you end up focusing on for the next year and a half. But so I've got that, and you got one of the things from the end of last year is still very much going to carry over into this year for you, with the new house.
Yes, it's keeping me busy.
New
house, new wife. Well,
yeah.
Official.
New legal status of wife.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm taken, ladies.
Yeah. New kitties.
And 2 new kittens. Adorable little sweethearts.
Mm-hmm.
They join our 2 other ones, which my 2 older ones are, if you want to put pictures.
Oh, yeah. We'll put a picture. So here's the older ones.
The orange one is Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
Vincent Van Gogh, but we just call him Vinny.
Vinny. He's my buddy.
Yeah.
Vinny is my buddy.
Impact. Anytime Impact comes over and he hears Impact's voice, he'll run down the stairs.
Yeah, he comes running out from under the bed specifically to find me, and then he doesn't leave me alone.
No, he don't.
Yeah.
And then the other one here, the white fluff ball, is our Princess Peridot, named after the character from Steven Universe, who's my favorite character. And if she could talk, she would call people clods. And then we have the 2 new kids.
And then the new kitties.
The bigger of the 2 here got the collar because the other one's too small for a collar. That's the one that I picked out when me and the wife went and picked out kittens. That's Gwynnevar. She's named after a D&D character, because as you all know, I'm a huge D&D guy. I read a lot of the D&D novels, and I'm a huge fan of the Legend of Drizzt novels. And Gwynnevar is Drizzt companion, panther companion.
Oh, okay.
And that's where her name comes from.
Okay.
And the other one is Mrs. Prime's little kitty, and his name is Atticus, named after Atticus Fish.
What a great name for a cat. I'm really actually kind of mad at your wife for picking that name, because as soon as I heard that was the name that you'd picked, I went, damn it. Now I can't pick that name for a pet, because...
Name it Finch.
No, I'll do something else. But it's a great name. Scout's a good... That, of the two, I think you got your hands full with Gwenny.
Oh, gosh.
Which is what I'm going to call her, Gwenny.
Guinevere is definitely rambunctious, but
you got your...
Atticus is a fireball.
Is Atticus starting to... Because when I've come around and played with the kitties, as you can see in this picture, Atticus seems to be okay, but Gwenny's just, like, not having it.
Well, yeah, Atticus is a snuggle bug. So he loves being held and snug. Guinevere loves to snuggle with me. But Atticus is a little fireball, and he likes to mess with his sister while she's sleeping.
Oh, wow. Yikes.
And they do both come from the same litter, and like all of our kittens, they are all rescues, because we believe in rescuing.
Sure. So. How do the other two, how do Vinny and
They can't stand him.
Okay.
Okay. Vinny is getting used to him. If they get close to him, especially if they run up to him without him realizing it, he'll hiss at him, maybe swipe at him, but for the most part, Vinny's like, whatever, go away from me, you things that are no bigger than my paw.
That's my boy.
Peridot, she's okay with Atticus. In fact, as the time of us recording this, her and Atticus are running around and playing.
Oh, really?
She was trying to play
this
with
morning?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She was trying to play with Atticus, but Atticus is a little afraid of her because she's bigger than him right now.
Well, yeah. Which is so funny, because
Peridot
was always the smaller, tinier one, and now she looks like this gigantic monster compared to them.
To be fair, though, Vincent is a 20-pound chunk.
True.
So anything's small compared to him.
True. And the kitties are kitties. Right. They were, what are they, about 9 weeks now?
October 15th was their birthday.
Okay.
So yeah, they're about 9 or 10 weeks at the time of this filming.
Okay. Yeah. So they're little bitty.
But yeah, she's getting warmed up to Atticus, tried to play with Atticus every once in a blue moon. Does not like Guinevere. I think it's a woman-cat thing, because I've read before that female cats don't always get along.
Interesting.
So they are both fixed. All of our cats are fixed. And not declawed, because that's horrible to declaw your claw.
That's horrible to do.
So all of our cats are clawed, and regular clawed, and fixed, and all that. So we're hoping that maybe... Guinevere was just fixed, like, this week.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that maybe there's, like, built-up hormones in there or something, and things are going to start to die down. And, I mean, after a while, they're going to get along. Or not get along, but they'll be like Vinny and Pear, and at least tolerate each other.
Well, I'm sure, guys, if you listeners, keep up with us, I'm sure that there will be updates either here or on my Big Fat Pull List. So that's the other thing, guys. Don't forget that this isn't the only show that we got. We do have my Big Fat Pull List, which of course runs at least somewhere close to every week. Sometimes we skip a week, if we get busy. And
we also have Instagram and social media, Facebook and all that.
Yep.
And if you guys want us to share pictures of our pets, I know I would be happy to share my kitties. I'm sure Smurfy would be happy to share his puppies.
Yep.
I'm sure Pistol would be happy to share his his pets.
We had to put my my little buddy, my little cat down, we're going on about 13 months ago now, I think. At the end of 2021, little Ferguson, but he was 16, 17, he was up there.
And he started getting a lot of tumors and
stuff. He was getting, it was tough for him to watch. It was a rough day, but he's better. But yeah, I'll share pictures of little Ferguson.
Yeah. He was adorable.
And I would love to get another pet sometime soon. So, maybe that'll happen this year.
Send him a pet.
That's right. Or if you want us to read manga about pets and about animals, you can always go to our Patreon, sign up as a patron for like a month or two, send us a little bit of cash and tell us what to go and buy, and we'll go and get those books and read them.
Didn't you tell someone your last episode that you were going to read an animal manga, maybe
we told
animal celestial beings or something like that?
Well, we told everyone. I didn't just tell someone. We told everyone that that this season I'm going to read Beastars.
Yep.
Which I'm looking forward to. That's not what I will be reviewing today.
No.
But yeah. So let's.
Well, what are you reviewing today?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Review number 1. So I figured since this is our first regular 2 different graphic novels, or 2 different manga volumes episode of the season.
And if you're not sure what he's talking about, go back and watch the first episode of the second season.
Right, where we break down the new format. I figured for this one, rather than doing something brand new, I'm going to go back to season 1, and I'm actually going to go back to our very first episode review. In our pilot episode, we just kind of talked about us in season 1.
We love to talk about us.
We love to, yeah. Attention whores.
Yeah.
But in our first actual episode, the very first manga I ever read, ever in my life, was Chainsaw Man Volume 1.
Yeah.
So I thought today, I'm doing Chainsaw Man Volume 2.
Great choice.
So yes. So this is my read.
So what's going on with Chainsaw Man? I know he teamed up with the devil hunting organization and he got merged with his little demon companion and became a chainsaw face.
Yep, with chainsaw hands.
Yep.
And the last
there was something where he fought a giant cat.
Bat. That's how the first volume ended.
That's right.
Was he was going up against the devil bat. There are devils for everything. There's
It's pretty interesting.
Bat devil. There's dog devils. There's everything has a devil avatar kind of thing. He was teamed up with and this guy's name is Aki. I'm assuming Aki Hayakama. I'm sure I'm butchering that. Anyway, at the agency, Aki is kind of his handler almost, but his real partner is this other fiend, basically another devil named Power.
Wait, that was her name?
Power.
I don't remember that being
her
name.
And she had a cat that she called Meowie.
Ah, that's right. I remember that.
And she could not find Meowie.
Yep.
And so and Denji, who is Chainsaw Man, Denji had this thing about wanting to touch boobs, which was one of the weird things I found about the book.
Cultural.
Which is yes, right. And so Power told him, hey, look, you help me find Meowie and take out the devil bat, then you can touch my boobs.
I mean, I'd make the deal.
And that was his whole motivation. Okay, so that's basically Volume 1. Volume 2 picks up right there with the fight with the bat.
Sure.
I have to admit, I was let down by the fight with the bat. It's not necessarily short, but I did feel like it was rushed a little bit. I wanted more fight.
I wonder if it's bigger in the anime.
I don't know. I am looking forward to watching the anime for this, but no, he fights it and he does eventually take it out, and and they do the job, and he gets Meowie back just when the devil bat has been defeated. The devil bat's girlfriend devil shows up.
That sounds a little batty.
Starting in with the bad jokes already.
I got 2 new babies. I'm a dad.
There you go. We've got our mom cards, and I've already made a faux pas by not writing this character, the girlfriend character, down. I should have done it, and just I don't know why I didn't think about writing that one down. But and I don't even know. Maybe they didn't even say what the girlfriend's. But
her face looks like a vagina.
She's like this weird slug with tentacles or something, and she ends up biting Denji's hand off just when he's about to reach out and get his feel. She bites his hand off.
Damn, that's cold.
Because the other thing about devils is devils gain more power by the more blood they consume.
This is more vampiric.
Which is a little more vampiric. But so they gain more power. So after the fight with the bat, he's running low on power.
Okay.
His saws on his arms are gone.
Okay.
And the saw coming out of his face is like only like out to here now. It's shortened.
Oh, just a little guy.
It's just a little guy. So he's running low on power. So
He's a grower, not a shower.
That's right. So she bites his hand off, and he figures, well, if I can get some more blood later at some point, then it'll grow back, or I can reattach it or something. But so that's when Aki and his two trainees, and I can't remember their names. I have a feeling that they're red shirts anyway, so it doesn't matter. As well as who was originally his handler and is now kind of his partner, and that's a character who I don't recall from the Volume 1. Maybe she is in Volume 1.
Yeah, I do remember.
Himeno?
Yeah, because she brought him in.
Okay.
And introduced...
Well, no, Maxima, the head of the organization, is the one that brought Denji in.
Okay. She's
the one that Denji is kind of like got a thing for.
Gotcha. Okay.
She kind of, I don't know if she's the head, but she's certainly the head of that area.
Gotcha.
No, this is Aki's partner.
Okay.
And he is the one that brought him in. Himeno. And she might have been in Volume 1, I don't remember, but she's very cool. You learn very quickly that both she and Aki have deals that they have made with other devils. So apparently you can make deals with devils and keep them almost on retainer, as it were.
Do they bury stuff at crossroads?
Well, sort of. The deal is like Himeno, for instance. She her deal is with a ghost devil.
Okay.
She let the ghost devil eat her eye. And in return for allowing it, she gets to call upon the ghost devil's hand to do whatever she wants with it.
Wow. That's That's
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
So, and Aki, I forget what his devil. I think it was like a wolf devil or something like that. Because he's actually the one that comes in and using the wolf devil. That's how they take out the girlfriend demon thing. Yeah. So anyway, they end up going back to the installation. Aki found his hand.
Okay.
They reattach it. They give him some blood. His arm is back on. And then he finally gets to do what he wants to do.
Yes! Grapefruit time.
He finally gets to do it. She lets him do it 3 times.
Nice.
Because even though he didn't take out the girlfriend, Aki took out the girlfriend, but she's like, oh, you took out the girlfriend, you took out the bat, and you found Meowie.
If they're going to give you, credit for that, you take
yeah, well, and he does.
Good.
Certainly.
Good.
And here's what I found interesting. He's left feeling kind of disappointed by it.
Dude, that's good. Okay.
Not like, I mean, he certainly enjoys it. He certainly likes it, but right, but he finds himself being a little disappointed by it. And Maxima or whatever her name is, she comes to him with the next mission, with the next devil that they need to do, and what the purpose of all this is. And she actually grabs his hand and he lets him feel her up too, which I thought was kind of weird. But her point in the scene is where she's saying, you feel empty because when you do, as she puts it, the naughty stuff, it doesn't pay off, basically, if there's no connection or meaning behind it. And I thought, okay, I see.
Can't confirm.
I see the message that you're trying to put in there. Strange damn book to put it in, but okay, I get it. At least it's a positive message.
Sure.
So anyway, she tells him, go with the team and find I just make sure I wrote it down right. Gun Devil. Yeah, it is. It's the Gun Devil.
Wow.
So the Gun Devil, you get the backstory. You get a lot of backstory on Aki and Himeno, which is really cool. You get to find out how Aki got brought in. That's all cool. But the Gun Devil apparently is
American?
the big bad. Yes, it might be. It might be because it started in America.
Oh, interesting.
So the Gun Devil, suddenly in Chainsaw Man Volume 2, with that story about finding purpose with another person, and then the story of the Gun Devil. Suddenly, Chainsaw Man Volume 2 starts getting very socially aware and making social commentary on things, because the Gun Devil comes out, I think it was 10, 12 years ago, prior to the book, and the Gun Devil came from what is essentially a mass shooting.
Wow.
Was what birthed the Gun Devil, or at least brought the Gun Devil to this world. I can't remember. And in that moment, in America, the Gun Devil in a time of something. Oh, I should have wrote the seconds down. I forget. It's something like 6 seconds time. Okay. The Gun Devil killed 57,912 people in that brief period. And then, over the course of the next, I forget if it was a few weeks or a few months, cuts their way around the globe. Oof. And there are essentially all of these mass shootings that occur that are all part of the Gun Devil, or somehow connected to the Gun Devil. And it's something like 1.2 million people end up getting killed as a result of all this. Now, the Gun Devil somehow has been cut up into pieces, and they have some, and the pieces are kind of like connecting. And because it's a devil, once you get a large enough piece, it will want to reconnect with its other pieces.
Sure.
They want to find the Gun Devil and kill it, be done with it. And they have a few pieces, so I get the impression, the way this book goes, because they're sent out, there's a devil somewhere who has a piece of the Gun Devil.
Okay.
I get the impression that we're getting into Harry Potter Horcrux territory.
Yeah.
We're going to go and collect the pieces of the Gun Devil. And the other thing about these pieces is that when a devil eats a piece,
they get a part of his power.
They get like amped up, like steroid like use.
Do they get like gun stuff on them, or they just get like?
I think it's just superpower. I don't know, because I haven't really seen that yet.
Okay.
The whole team, Aki and Himeno, Pao, they all go to this building where they've got one of the pieces of the Gun Devil on a string, and they're using it like a compass. Oh, wow. And when it moves a little bit, it points the way, and they follow it.
Okay, that's why they don't destroy. I was sitting there thinking, why don't you just destroy the pieces?
The pieces lead you to other pieces. And so they go to this building, and they're like, well, why do we, what if it's just the actual thing? Why don't we just kill it when we're there? And they're like, no, because the piece would be going nuts if the primary bulk of the body is there, and it's not. It's moving. So it is just a piece in here, which tells us that there's a devil in this building that ate it, so we have to kill the devil and dig the piece of the Gun Devil out. Oh, so it doesn't even digest. Evidently not. Evidently not. So they get into this building, and this little devil, which is just a head, a human bald head with hands for ears, and he flops around. It was really weird, and he runs by flop. It was really strange, and he comes running out of this room, and I think Power is the one who's like, she's nuts. She is by far my favorite character, hands down. Even more than Chainsaw Man himself. She is so over the top and funny and weird. I'll read the next one just for her alone.
All right.
So anyway, she kills the thing, and they keep walking up the steps, and then they walk up the steps from level 8, and they walk up and they see that they're on level 8. And then they walk up those steps and they're on level 8. And they're like, okay, why don't we go back down and try a different way? They go back down the stairs, they're on level 8.
Some MC Escher stuff right there.
They're somehow stuck. Yeah. And they think it has something to do with Power killing the little head. That somehow it released something that has kept them...
or it's a glitch in the Matrix.
Or it's a glitch in the Matrix, right. Somehow they are stuck in here. And...
I wonder if it's like a purgatory.
Well, it turns out that the way out is to let... Because the head is not really dead. It has morphed into this weird, gigantic glob of body parts.
Sure.
Right, because...
As one does.
As you do. And it comes spilling out of a doorway. All these, it's just Yeah, like, picture, like, the giant blob thing from the end of Slither, but, like, just with body parts sticking and just, like, rolling like the blob, like this jelly mash
some
of
of the
it.
stuff they come up with is so
Oh my god,
creative.
it's so wild. So anyway, it comes spilling out, and they've been stuck now for what feels like weeks.
Wow.
In this floor, and they can't get out, and they learn the way out is if the devil eats someone.
Oh, well, they got red shirts with them.
Well, the red shirts have completely turned because the devil doesn't just want to eat someone. The devil wants to eat Denji. And the red shirts, the hook for the book,
They turn them over.
it's one of the red shirts coming out with a gun or a weapon or something pointed at Denji and saying, "I can't take it anymore, let him eat you." And that's the hook.
Okay.
It was interesting.
Yeah, the whole gun devil is an interesting direction to go. Not what I was expecting, because I read the first volume. We did the swap, whatever. I read the first volume.
There will be a swap time episode where we'll get his full
Yes.
opinions, but yeah.
But not what I was expecting the direction to go.
No, nor was I. And to be honest with you, listeners, now I'm still very new to manga,
Yeah.
but I've read a little bit of it now.
I've read a good chunk.
And I've read a pretty decent chunk, and I've read enough of it now that I can, without question, say that more than likely, I would probably stop with Volume 2 of
Really?
Chainsaw Man if Power wasn't in the book.
Ah, okay. You just like
I like the character of Power enough because she is, like, picture Magic from New Mutants and X-Men, but with some kind of weird, bizarre Wednesday Addams kind of delivery to things, and I can't believe I'm going to say this because I'm not a huge fan of the character, but some zany Harlequin attitude on
Sure.
top of it. It's like, take those three characters and mix them together, and that's Power.
from the little bit the character she shows up in the first volume, I can picture that perfectly. It's a great.
And I don't like Wednesday Addams. I love Magic is cool, but I can take her or leave her. And Harley Quinn, I'm not generally a fan of. But I don't know what it is. Something about putting those three characters together, I just find it really fun. So I don't know how much farther I will go.
Okay.
I certainly will read Volume 3.
Cool.
I absolutely will read Volume
for that.
3. But Volume 3, listeners, I'm going to say it right now. Even Power is not going to be enough to keep me back for Volume 4. Volume 3 for me is going to be the decider on how far I go.
Okay. It's a big one.
So Volume 3...
No pressure. Volume 3.
Yeah, right. Of Chainsaw Man will be the decider of how far. So that's it. That's my review for this episode. I did Chainsaw Man Volume 2.
Vroom, vroom. So that was really interesting and real exciting sounding, and a lot of pressure for Volume 3.
A lot of pressure.
I did something very similar to you. As you said, you did Chainsaw Man Volume 2, because that's what we did for our first episode. I did Death Note Volume 2.
Almost as if it was planned.
We have a system! No, I did Volume 2 of Death Note. This was I don't remember if I said this in the last one. Going into it, I did not expect to enjoy Death Note at all.
I remember you saying that, and I'm very much looking forward. I will be doing one of our swap time episodes. I will be doing Volume 1 of Death Note, which I'm really looking forward to.
I actually really, and like I said, I really enjoyed Volume 1. I really enjoyed it. So I'm really glad that I'm glad that I wasn't disappointed.
Nice.
And then I read Volume 2, and it picks up pretty much where Volume 1 lets off. So if you don't remember Volume 1, a quick recap. Character named Light, the main character, he gets this book called the Death Note. It's a notebook where he can write down the name and the way to kill people. And he's like become a god, and he starts becoming this character in the public called Kira, who's going around and killing criminals because he wants to make peace around the world. But he's supposed to get a little power hungry, and he starts killing multiple criminals, and he starts becoming pursued by the police. And the police bring this character, this person named L, just the letter L, involved, who's like this super detective, but never shows his face because he's super introverted, but he can solve any crime. And He tries to kill L in a deceptive way, but it fails. So he goes out of killing other criminals to try to kill someone who's trying to hunt him down. And he starts getting a little more twisted. And while he's doing all this, he's got a little demon guy on his side, a Shinigami named Ryuk, who's really cool looking, if you remember what Ryuk looks like.
Oh, yeah. There's some awesome bomb-ass statues of him.
Yeah, there are.
I work at a like we said, we have regular jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I work at a bookstore. I run shipping and receiving department at our store, and we get these really cool. Yeah, it's huge. It's
wicked.
Oh man,
I almost bought it.
Well, and when it came in, I was like, man, thank God I haven't read Death Note yet, because if I read it and liked it, I'd want to spend the money. So,
It'd be a great gift for one of our listeners to send us. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Please don't. But yeah, he's got Ryuk following him around, and he also starts killing criminals in the U.S. because he's testing how far he can reach with the book. And towards the end of the book, the U.S. sends FBI agents in to investigate because Kira's killing all these people. And the hook was he's on a bus testing how far he can get to go, and he literally writes in the book like, this guy's going to come and try to hijack the bus and then get off the bus and get hit by a car, which is exactly how this criminal dies. And on the bus is this FBI agent named Ray Penbar. And he has to reveal himself to Light, even though he doesn't know Light's Kira. He reveals himself to Light because Light's father is the guy who's doing the investigation in Japan. And Light finds out that this guy's an FBI guy. And they both, watch this criminal die, and they're like, whoa, that was heavy. None of them at the moment think it's Kira, because up until this guy, Kira's public killings have all been heart attacks.
And this is all still just the first volume.
This is quick recap.
Yeah.
So volume 2 picks up right where volume 1 lets off. It picks up at the bus, right after the criminal gets hit by the bus.
Okay.
And Ray is talking to his fiancée, Naomi Masura. And he's telling her, like, hey, this guy just got hit by a bus. I mean, I didn't find any leads on Kira, but this dude just died. And this guy got hit by a car. And she's like, is he dead? And he's like, I guess so. Yeah. But yeah, they talk about it, and he's like, well, I got to get back. I got to find stuff on Kira.
That's like the Homer Simpson response to, is that guy dead? Oh.
FBI, come on. But no, so things start to continue to evolve. Ryuk is constantly talking with Light about, you're doing really good. You're really playing with this book, and you're figuring things out in this. And Light's like, yeah, it's not hard. And, like, there's even times where he's like, wow, I didn't even know we could do stuff like that. He's like, well, because you didn't try. But, yeah, like, you find...
So he's thinking outside the box.
Right. And then, shortly after that, all of a sudden, all 12 FBI agents die of a heart attack. You find out Kira, Light, killed all 12 FBI agents because they were hunting down.
Whoa!
Yeah. He's starting to go over to the dark side.
Whoa!
We're talking Anakin Skywalker stuff here.
Whoa!
Yeah. And after all 12 die, the head of the FBI, he calls Light's father, who's running the thing, and he's like, hey, look, man, 12 of our people died. I'm not helping you out anymore. We're pulling out of this investigation. Kira's a Japanese problem now. Which is exactly what Kira wanted.
Well, and it's exactly what America does. How many times do we go in and,
Well, that's a topic for another
That's a whole different thing.
That's not Death Note.
That's not Death Note.
So he pulls out, and after the FBI pulls out, and after 12 FBI agents get killed, like the Kira Task Force, which is being run by his father, who's actually the head of the National Police Agency, which they refer to as the NPA all the time. His father, he finds out that like all but like 6 members of his task force said, "We're done. We're not messing with this guy anymore." Which, I mean, can't say I blame him. So, and they're all like, and now people are going, maybe this Light dude is Kira, or not Light, maybe this L dude is Kira. Because no one's seen his face, yet he knew all the FBI stuff, he knew everything going on. Maybe he's killing everybody and using this L persona as a thing. So, L ends up telling him, hey, look, come see me at a hotel, we'll meet. You guys, you seven counting his father, you 7 are willing to risk your lives. I can't do anything less, so come meet me. And they go, okay, one guy says, no, this is too much for me. I don't want to meet with this guy. We don't need L, and he leaves the task force. So the remaining 6, including his father, go to L's house. Or go to the hotel. And they meet L. They meet L face to face. It's the first time he's come out and shown his face to anyone. And he comes out and they come in, they're like, L, what are you doing? He goes, no, don't call me L while we're here. Call me Ryuzaki. They're like, okay. So he's, they're working with him, and he starts talking to them, and he's developing plans. And he's like, I need to talk to each one of you individually to make sure you're not Kira. And they don't show him talking to each one, but he comes back eventually. He's like, all right, y'all are clear. None of y'all are Kira. We got to figure out why he's doing this stuff. From here, we cut around to other parts. You find out that Ray Penbar, his fiancée, Naomi, is ex-FBI. She starts investigating how Ray died.
Oh.
And trying to figure out what's going on. And she's starting to put things together that Kira can kill other than heart attacks. Because she thinks Kira was on the bus the day Ray was on the bus, which we all know is true.
Yeah.
And she's found out another instance where this is happening. And she's thinking this is all going down. And so she's doing her own investigation. Then they do a quick little flashback showing how all the 12 FBI agents died. Light comes up behind Ray Penbar. And he's like, hey, I'm Kira. Don't turn around or I'm going to kill you here. You know I can do it. And so he has Ray get on a subway wearing like a little toy transceiver that no one can really hack into because it's a cheap toy. And he has Ray reach out to the FBI office and send him a file of every FBI agent that's there in Japan. And leaves that
So then he gets the names.
Right. And he's like, you're going to leave me this, and you're going to put this on here, and you're going to stay on this train for another half hour so no one really makes a big deal about it. Light's brilliant. Light's a tactical, monstrous genius.
Monstrous, for sure.
And the whole time Ryuk is sitting there laughing. Because he's finding this hilarious, just how deceivious Light is compared to other humans who've got the Death Note. And so Ray leaves, and as Ray is walking out on the train station, he has a heart attack and dies. And as he's dying, he looks over the subway, and he sees Light in the doorway, and he's like, Light, Yagan, I'm here. He says, Light, and Light's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm Kira. As the door closes and he finds out who it was as he dies.
Oh my god.
So then Light gets the information and he kills all the FBI guys in weird, odd orders to try to throw off the trail.
Okay, alright, fair enough.
This continues to go on where Light is randomly killing people in odd orders just to kind of throw things off to try to keep things crazy. And he also finds out that he can write down a style of death with leaving the name blank and the time blank. Because then he can just fill in the name and time later.
Oh, so it's like he preps it almost. Yep. So he can basically figure out the way to kill somebody and kind of hold it over them, and because he doesn't put their name in yet.
He doesn't. No one knows that he's using a notebook.
Right, but you could. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He could be like I could go up to you, Prime, and go, this and this is how it's going to happen. This is how you're going to die. If you mess with me, I'm going to fill in your name and the time.
Theoretically, yes.
Theoretically.
He doesn't tell. He doesn't want anyone to know that he's using the
Sure, but I mean, he could go that route. Okay.
And he tests it, and it works that way, too. That's Ryuk's like, I didn't know we could do that. He's like, well, you never tried. So he's testing the Death Note out. He also finds out that he can tear a page from the Death Note, leave the whole book in his house, and carry a page on him. So if he's out there, he can be like, you jerk.
Oh my god, so he can travel without... Oh my god.
Yeah, he's really figuring out the idiosyncrasies of this book.
Jeez.
And at one point, he takes the page out, and he goes down. His mom asks him to drop off some clothes to his dad down at the police station. So he's taking him down there, and as he's dropping the clothes off, Naomi is there, talking to the police. She's like, I need to talk to the task force. And they're like, well, the task force isn't here, because while that's going on, the task force is at a hotel with L, the entire task force. So there's no task force there. She's like, but this is very vital information about Kira. And they're like, well, we're not here. And Light's like, uh-oh. So he's like, hey, my dad runs this. If you need to talk to him, I can get in touch with him. And he ends up having this conversation with her as they're taking a walk because he doesn't want her in the police station because there's cameras. So he takes her outside and they're walking and talking. And she tells him that her name is actually Shok Maki. Gives him a fake name. And it's kind of an important part. But they're talking and he ends up telling her, oh yeah, no, actually, I'm part of the investigation. She's like, really? He goes, yeah, Elle found out that I helped the police with a few other things in the past, which the police do confirm, actually. And so he's telling her that he's part of the investigation as well. And while he's telling her this when they're walking, he's writing Shok Maki. At 1:15 p.m., will walk away and commit suicide. Because he's thinking, she just lost her fiancé. No one is going to doubt if she commits suicide.
Sure.
And at 1:15, she doesn't walk away. Because she gave him a fake name.
Oh.
Right. And he's like, that's weird. And while he was writing that down, too, Ryuk was laughing harder than normal in his ear. And he's like, that's why Ryuk was laughing. He knows that's not her real name. Because Shinigami, they can see everyone's name and how much life they have left. Kind of like on a video game where you see somebody's name.
Right.
They see everyone's name. And Light can do that, but he has to give up half of his life to get that ability. So Ryuk knew it was her fake name, but he wasn't going to say anything because he's an agent of chaos.
Right.
So while that's while that's going on, Elle and the police are looking at all the footage from when the FBI agents died. And that's when Elle notices something. That Ray Penbard gets on the subway at like 3 o'clock, but doesn't get off until like 4:30. He's like, that doesn't make sense. That subway takes an hour for the full loop. Why wouldn't he get off? Then they also noticed that Ray Penbar had a manila envelope when he got on the subway, but no envelope when he got off. So he's starting to put pieces together thinking Kira must be on that. He goes, and only certain people know about the FBI agents to begin with. He goes, so I think we need to bug their houses. And they're like, what? And they're like, he's like, yeah. He goes, we got to bug the houses of this one guy who runs the NPA, and we got to bug the house of Light's dad. And everyone's like, that's against the law, privacy and all that stuff, which don't bug people's houses. I don't think I need to say that, but don't do that. But they're like, yeah, privacy, that's a big problem. And that's against the law. And Light's dad is like, no, damn it. If it's going to help us catch this guy, we have to do it. He goes, we have to bug everything. Bedrooms, hallways, bathrooms, everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, big brother.
Well, he goes, the only stipulation is I want to be the one to bug my house. And Elle's like, you know what? That's cool. And he goes, and I promise, once this is all done, I'll shut the bugs down. Which, for what I've seen from Elle so far, I think he would. He doesn't seem like the kind.
It's kind of the Batman Lucius Fox moment from The Dark Knight.
Yeah, very much. Yeah,
second Dark Knight. Yeah, the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, very much like that.
Yeah, because I think Lucius say, this is not something that can be put into a regular man's hands. Something to that effect. Yeah.
And Batman's like, put your name in at the end.
Yeah, it's set to, right.
You can take care of it.
There are not enough pauses. You can take care of it. William Shatner's version of Batman.
You actually looked kind of like, I don't think you've ever seen Bat Metal.
Bat Metal?
If you guys haven't seen Bat Metal and are metal fans like me, check it out. It's hilarious.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll show it to you after this.
All right.
But anyway, so he's like, yeah, sure, you can do it, bug your house. So Light goes home after walking around and, I jumped a gun. He ends up telling the girl, by the way, this is when he tells the girl, I'm working with the investigation. He tells me none of this. He's like, I'm actually, and I had to make sure that your information was legit, because she told him how Kira's doing more than just heart attacks. He's like, I had to make sure your information was legit before I told you the truth. I'm part of the investigation, and we want you on board. And all we need is an identification. And she's like, what? And he goes, yeah, we just need to see ID. Don't worry, Shok. We got you. And he's by this time figured out that that's not her real name. But he can't be like, oh, hey, what was your name again? Because that's obvious. So she goes, okay, well, there's something I need to tell you. And he's like, what's that? She's like, well, that's not my real name. And he's like, yeah, don't say. And so she hands him her ID. And he has her name. He's sitting there thinking, good God, this was so easy. I can't believe this went so easily. And Ryuk is sitting there going, because he gives her a line about how this is fate that you were brought together. And Ryuk's like, you humans eat that crap up so much. And she gives him her ID. Her ID says the name, Naomi Masora, on it. And he's like, wow, thanks. And he's acting like he's writing down her information. But he's writing the same thing he was before. And he writes it all down, and he hands her back. He goes, oh, by the way, I'm Kira. And she's like, what? And he goes, yeah. And you're not telling anybody this. And like a next minute passes, and she turns and walks away to go commit suicide.
So she does?
She does.
Oh,
and
damn.
He's just killed another good person who's been trying to hunt him down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that the hook?
No, that's not the hook. That would have been a cool hook.
That's a great hook.
But no, so she goes to kill herself. And then after that, Light goes home. And he walks up to his room and he opens his door and this little card. He does that thing where you put a card in your door and the card falls. And he looks up the card and he looks up and he goes, huh, and walks in. And Ryuk's sitting there talking and go, wow, that was cold. You know, he's sitting there talking to him the whole time and Light's ignoring him, not paying any attention to him. Just, sits down on the bed and acts like he's at home. And Ryuk's going, dude, I'm talking to you. Aren't you listening to me? And Light's like, dude. And Light walks over and he grabs a coat and he starts feeling the coat and he puts the coat on and he walks outside and goes a few blocks. And this whole time Ryuk's going, man, you're pissing me off. I know you can hear me. And Light's like, yeah, I can hear you. But my room's bugged. And he's like, what? He goes, yeah. Something's wrong with my room. Someone's been in there. I think it's bugged. So I had to act like I didn't know you. And Ryuk's like, how did you figure that out? And he explains. He's like, how'd you figure it out? That card was still in the door. He goes, yeah, that was the thing that gave it away. He goes, if he puts a piece of lead above the door hinge from a mechanical pencil, that when it opens, it breaks. So he goes, I expected people to not catch that. He also, when he's got one of those like door handles that you grab and turn like a velociraptor.
Oh, like a velociraptor. Okay, yeah.
But he always, when he closes it, you can kind of wiggle him a bit. Mm-hmm. He pushes it down, so that way he knows he always has to lift up to push down. He said he didn't have to lift up when he went there. So he's like, those two things there tell me someone's been in my room, but they caught the card and put the card back to try to trick me. He goes, so
because they weren't paying attention to the other issues.
The other two things.
Yeah, right.
And he goes, and I know they didn't find the death note because he's got the death note in that. He's got like a booby trap drawer where he's got the death note. He goes, my room wasn't on fire, so I know they didn't find the death note. And Ryuk's like, wow, you are like 10 steps ahead of everybody and really smart. And he's like, well, yeah, I am. He goes, so with that said, Ryuk, you can't eat apples anymore because Ryuk has a huge thing for apples. And Ryuk's like, what? He goes, yeah, sure. When the apple goes inside you, it disappears. But until then, there's a floating apple in my room. Because only Light can see Ryuk.
Oh, sure.
And Ryuk's like, no, man, look. I'm not about this life. I gotta have my apples. Apparently it's like a drug to him. He goes, all right, I'll make a deal with you then. You go find where the cameras are in my room, and I'll block them at times so you can eat the apples. And he's like, I don't like to get involved in human affairs. I'm more of a kind of guy who just sits back and watch things. But I gotta have my apples.
Hey, man, when you gotta get it, you gotta get it.
And so the hook of the book is, they make this deal, and Ryuk flies back to the house to find where all the bugs are.
Oh, so that's how it ends with him going,
yeah,
okay.
That's the hook.
It's an okay hook. I think the other hook would have been a better hook.
I think so too.
I think that would have been better kept for like Volume 3 as something like in the beginning of Volume 3. I mean, it's not a bad hook.
No.
But
yeah, that's why when I was reading it and I got to that, I was like, okay. Oh, that's the last page.
Yeah, it's kind of like you want one more moment after that, or you want the moment before it. Yeah, it's like that's but it's still good. It's still a good hook. Yeah, it's still good.
But yeah, that's how. And I thought I really enjoyed it. And unlike you, I will be reading Volume 3.
Well, I'm reading Volume 3 too. It's just that's going to be the decider volume for me.
It's not a decider for me. I'm really enjoying the story.
So you are hooked on Death Note. You are in. You are all in.
I'm afraid to stop reading. if I stop,
I get you.
My name might go on the book.
That's true. It's possible. It's possible. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I really liked it. And Ryuk is my favorite character.
All right.
And even though I've never seen the live-action movie, every time I read it, I hear Willem Dafoe's voice in my head.
Is that who does the movie?
That's who does Ryuk in the movie.
I've heard the movie was terrible.
That's why I've heard too.
Boy, I really would love to hear him do.
That's why I watched the trailer.
Oh, man. Okay.
Or you can probably just find the scenes on YouTube.
That's true. Just the Willem Dafoe scenes. Yeah.
But I mean, what a perfect voice for that character.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, it's ideal. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't do a Willem Dafoe.
Well, it's a little... yeah, I can't either. I'm not going to try. Maybe in another episode we'll start doing impressions
I'm
or something.
something of a bad impressionist myself.
Get the spider come out to play. Yeah, that's not it. Was it? Okay. All right. Well, there you have it, guys. That was today's episode. Death Note Volume 2, Chainsaw Man Volume 2. So once again, guys, make sure that you follow us on all of our social medias, mybigfatpulllist.com. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok. You can find us all there. If there's things that you agree with us or don't agree, disagree, whatever,
let us know.
Mutual agree, I don't know, all the different agrees. Yeah, let us know. Say something in the comments here on YouTube, or if you're only listening to this episode, get over to YouTube and follow us there.
And if you have suggestions for us to read, like, I'll be honest, I want to read a really badass manga about dinosaurs.
Oh, dinosaurs would be great.
Right?
If anyone we're such huge dinosaur nuts.
Like, I'd love a manga about dinosaurs.
Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions about that or any other kinds of stuff, certainly hit us up on that. And guys, don't forget, make sure that you subscribe to my Big Fat Pull List YouTube channel.
Yep. So you can always hit the little dingly bell.
Yep, hit the little bell so you always get your notifications. And if you like what you see here, then by all means spread the word.
Please.
And tell people to to follow. I mean, Kevin Smith. I saw Kevin Smith live recently.
Dude, excellent.
And he said something great because he was talking about sales of Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Okay.
Which is what allowed him to do Clerks 3, basically.
Clerks 3?
It was at the Clerks 3 screening. So what he said was that we were given the budget, we were allowed to do Clerks 3 because of the response to the DVD sales of Reboot, of Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. He said, so because you guys went out and supported his physical media, which I totally agree with, physical media is great, because you did that, that's what keeps him doing it. So he said to everybody, if you want me to keep doing this, if you want me to keep making these movies, keep buying my shit. Buy it for other people. Buy multiple copies.
Please.
He goes, if you don't like me, if you can't stand me at all, then don't buy my shit. He was like, vote for it that way. Well, it's kind of the same thing here, guys. If you like what we do, if you like My Big Fat Pull List, if you like...
We're not even asking you to buy anything.
We're not even asking you to buy anything. Spread the word. Get people to follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel and all of our socials. So, yeah.
We would love it. And we'd be ever...
grateful. Yeah. He was so grateful he was speechless. Yeah. just guys, he just needs a moment. It's okay.
We got great
It's okay.
fans.
I know.